What's up, man? What's up? What's up?
It's good, man.
Shit, chilling, man. Can't call it, man. How was your week?
I can't really hear you.
Oh, you can't hear me?
No.
Can you hear me now?
I mean, I can hear you, but actually, it's not really loud. Maybe it's on my end. Let me see what's going on.
All right.
Maybe it's on my end. All right, it was my end.
It was your end. You can hear
I,
me loud and clear now.
yeah, it was on my end. The speakers was down low.
Okay, that's what's up, man. So, what's good, man? I mean, you already know the topic at hand. Kevin Samuels, his death has created a shitstorm of black women basically showcasing their vitriol on social media. This has disgusted me to the highest levels, and it has showcased that Kevin Samuels' message was a true calling from God, that Kevin Samuels' message was God sent, and that Kevin Samuels was right on the thumb, right on the needle, right on the curve, and right on the eye of the damn situation. What's your take, man, on this whole situation? How you feeling about the temperature of black women showcasing their disgust and black women basically being shameless in someone's death?
Well, there's a perfect explanation for it. Not an excuse, but explanation for it. The matriarchy. Salute to King Styles production. The matriarchy, right, was cultivated by who? White supremacy. It tells black women the very opposite of what black men actually think. You know what I'm saying? It shows them. It gives black women the very opposite of what black men think. So a lot of black men think the way Kevin Samuels think. Don't say nothing because they don't want to be at odds with who? With black women. Because just being yourself, a masculine man, puts you at odds with the matriarchy. Because the matriarchy is all about women being in power. They even raise their children that way. They won't expect much from their boys, but they'll expect the world, all the responsibility, everything around the house. They'll expect the daughter to do everything. They build her up to be strong, mentally strong. They build the son up to be mentally weak and the foe under pressure. So that's why you have some sprinkles of black men in there too that were like, I'm glad he's dead, whatever. Why? Because guess what? If he's dead, in their mind, if he's dead, if that type of man is dead, I don't have to live up to that. I don't got to be a high value man. I don't have to be accountable. I don't have to hold black women accountable. All I get to do is just be the black boy that could go to his mama for $50 every now and then. I don't have to do anything that sets myself apart.
Yep.
So with the matriarchy, it's more so about keeping the white man in power while while promoting black woman power and making sure the black men stay the heel of America.
Yep.
How do you do that? By disagreeing with everything he say, no matter what, and making sure you always fight against. If he's reaching for power, you will always hold him back from power while helping the white man maintain his power. How do you do that? By destroying the family nucleus. By destroying the family nucleus. A lot of these sisters, really, what they're saying is, we know we're wrong, but at the end of the day, we're black women. You gotta accept us for what we do, no matter what. Until we decide we want to change. If we never decide we want to change, dudes gotta accept it. And Kevin Samuels was telling them that's just not how it goes. So just being a masculine man, you're gonna be diametrically opposed to the matriarchy off the rip.
Yep. Um, my biggest thing with this, and people have to understand, is Kevin Samuels was basically telling truth. And truth can be looked at to people as an extreme position because people don't want to accept truth. You can't look like fucking Lizzo. I don't give a fuck how much money you have. Be a size 16 and up and think that you can have tall, dark, and handsome. Think that you can have white picket fence and think that you could sit there and have somebody that's financially well off and is there to be there for your needs, and you look like fucking Lizzo. This is what he was talking about. Can't have
Right.
that. Because what about the guy? Does he want you looking like fucking Lizzo? This is the unrealistic, the lack of accountability, the basically what I would say, the weirdness of black women. They think that they can just look any kind of way because of the evolution of we could be 300 plus fucking pounds. Guys are gonna want us any fucking ways. Well, what about high value men? High value men, a lot of them don't want a motherfucker that's 300 plus pounds, especially if they're working hard in the gym, doing what they have to do, especially if they're sitting there and being the best versions of themselves. Why would they want a motherfucker that is lazy as fuck, eating whatever they want? Because really it boils down to lack of discipline. That's how they look at you. It's not about your
Mm-hmm.
size or anything like that. There's people that have a big size and they have discipline. So really it's not about the size element. It's about the discipline part. They look at you and they see lack of discipline, and then they want you to bring that in. Because if you bring a motherfucker in that's already as big as a fucking house, you have kids with them, they're gonna be the size of 2, 3 fucking houses. This is the reality of it, and you don't understand that he sees you that way, but you want to sit there and say, okay, I could look a certain way, I could be a certain size, and I could have all of these things. This is the bullshit and the fuck shit that these toxic modern day black women are telling themselves. And they're believing this shit. And then Kevin Samuels comes out a few years ago and starts telling them, no, you're a solid fucking 2 on a great day. You're a solid fucking 4 on a great day. And their eyes start to pop. They start to tell themselves, holy shit. I can't believe a guy's actually telling me this. Yes, he is fucking telling you this. Because like Tom Ross eloquently said earlier, there's a lot of men that were thinking this. Kevin Samuels just
Right.
happens to be the one to have the microphone and tell you this. So because he's making you be accountable, because he's telling you, look, from a health standpoint, you can't be this kind of weight because it can mess with you heart disease wise. It can cause diabetes. It can cause all of these other preventative things that you can really prevent if you just get your ass up, going to the gym, and manage your palate in the fucking kitchen. These are the things this motherfucker was trying to tell them. Oh no, they don't want to
Right.
hear that. As long as I do my hair, as long as I go to the doctor, as long as I get a nip and tuck, as long as I get basically my stomach pumped out, as long as I basically do what's called fat transfer, I should be fine. Fat transfer, nip and tuck, and all that doesn't save you from a heart attack. It don't save you from diabetes. It don't
Done.
save you from eating the shit that you fucking eating. What saves you from all of that is the fact that you need to sit there and take care of yourself. And this is what he was talking about, the double standards. And then they'd say on Twitter that some witch doctor, voodoo doctor, you know, basically turned him into bag of bones after he said women that are 35 and over are leftovers. What's your take on that, Ross?
People who practice voodoo don't even get that type of power, man.
Exactly.
When it's your time to go, that's an authorization from God for your time to go. Your time, you could shorten your time on Earth. You can lengthen your time on Earth by the shit that you do. But unless if he wasn't a practicing voodoo person himself, that shit not gonna affect him, man. The scriptures say there's no enchantment against Israel. There's no enchantment against a Hebrew unless you get into that shit. If you as a Hebrew if you despise voodoo and all that shit, and you don't get into that, and you ain't afraid of that, and you know your God more powerful than that, that shit don't affect you. So that ain't it. The thing about it is he had ran his course. His message that he came here to give, it was given, and it was proven to be true by the way they behaved.
Exactly.
It was proven to be true that they're rotten, they're opportunistic, because it was never about disrespect. It was about the truth. Because
Yep.
if it's about disrespect, let's be honest, black women, they would hate hip hop music, they would hate movies,
Mm-hmm.
they would hate the gangbangers they date, they would hate everybody who disrespect them. It was about
Yep.
the truth.
Yep.
They didn't like Kevin Samuels because of the truth. They get disrespected daily just by turning the radio on.
Facts.
Hell, black women disrespect each other. They love disrespect.
Yep.
They didn't like the truth being told to them.
Yep.
This world is so upside down that the weak, because the majority of people is weak now, that the weak tremble at the truth.
Yep.
The truth can ruin their day. If a woman
Yep.
asks you a dumbass question like, "How do I look in this dress?" and she knows she's fat, you be like, "You don't look good in the dress." You telling her the truth will ruin her day.
Yep.
Whose problem is that?
Yours.
Yours or hers?
Hers.
That's her problem. That's anybody's problem. Anybody who got a problem with you for being honest about your feelings is not always facts. Your feelings could be wrong, but you telling them the truth is something altogether different. Honesty and truth ain't the same. You could be honest about something that's wrong.
Yep.
Truth and facts is truth and facts. If somebody asks you how they look, and you say, "You know what, that shirt a little too tight, bro," and you say, "Man, you a fuck nigga, you was a hater," that's his problem.
Yep.
Because the shirt's tight is tight.
Yep.
That's the thing. They've grown black women to be in a fantasy land. That's what they're always looking for. The it can happens, the small, minute things, the exceptions to a rule. In the fantasy movie, all the exceptions happen, right? You see pink unicorns, you see rainbows, motherfuckers catching bullets with their teeth. You see all the shit that can't happen in real life. Because that's a fantasy land. That's a movie.
Yep.
So people who want to live in that land, when you remind them that's not real, it's kind of like people, I know I'm going on, but I got to drive this point home.
Go ahead.
You have people who rebel against God's divinity and his power. So they blame everything on Mother Earth or the galaxy, the universe. It's everything but God, right?
Yep.
It's everything but God. These type of people that always talk about they manifestor, always talking about they're gonna will as a god of the earth, or they call themselves gods. These people, when you remind them of the truth of how their life is just a drop in a bucket, it ruins their whole day.
Yep.
When you tell them, if you're a guy, why you can't pay your bills?
Yep.
Why you gotta ask me for money?
Yep.
But that's the fantasy world that they put around themselves to ignore the fact that they're just fallible like everyone else. That they're fallible like everyone else. So they make this shit up out the clear blue sky. You get on some money because they're poor. They say they will that. So they say they manifested that. You ain't manifest a motherfucking thing. I took my ass to work and made that money.
Yep.
God gave me the strength to get up, make that money. He gave me the power, the activity of my limbs. I made the money. I gave it to you because you broke as hell. You didn't manifest the motherfucking thing. It's called charity.
Yep.
But when you don't want to accept the fact that you're human like everyone else, and that you're not infallible, you have to make a world to where you're not needy. So in a world where you're not needed, you manifest that with your mind. You sat back and you just thought. You can sit back and think till you blue in the face. Ain't shit gonna come to you, man.
Yep.
And the shit that comes to you is because out of the kindness of somebody's heart. You ain't manifest a motherfucking thing. Hard work and dedication equals fucking food on the table, clothes on your back, the lights on. I can do this because why? I took my ass to work. You know what I mean? I say all that to say they've created this fantasy world around them where everything they do is right. It's all fake.
Yep.
Fake hair, fake nails, fake body look. The things that they hold their fat down in their midsection. Everything is fake. So when you start telling them the truth that you see all this shit is fake, then they don't like you because you're ruining the day. The white man gave me this vision of what things are supposed to be. and you're fucking it up by being honest and being truthful.
Mm-hmm.
So you got to be the enemy.
Yep. I'm glad you said that because you see, this is my reality with the three rotation girls I'm dealing with right now. Um, is this what my reality was with my ex-wife when I dealt with her? And this is my reality when I dealt with any other woman in the past. They always, women are always telling you how they look. They always asking you, how do you think I look right now? Fair assessment, right? I'm gonna tell them as long as you are attractive to me physically, and as long as you're within the taste of what I want, I'm gonna tell you, you good. That's it. I'm gonna keep it like that. You good. You straight. You
Mm-hmm.
gully. Now, if you start going outside of that window, then I'm gonna tell you, okay, you putting on some pounds. You're gonna have to start hitting that fucking gym. You're gonna have to start watching your fucking palate. And I won't hesitate to tell you that. I don't give a fuck who you are. But as long as you're within the realm of what I find with my eyes as acceptable, then I'm okay. So I don't hold the extreme position that Kevin Samuels hold as it relates to that. But at the same time, if a woman comes and tells me and asks me, do you think that I've put on too much weight? Or do you think that I am not disciplined or whatever? I throw the question right back at their ass. Why are you asking me that question? What do you think?
Right.
How do you assess it? How do you value yourself? And if you feel you need to tighten up and you feel you need to discipline yourself, then just do it. That is a very simple thing for me. Just do it. Well, I might need you to help me. No, I'm not gonna do all that. You know your body. You know how to take care of yourself. You're an adult. You know what you can and can't do. You've done it before because you were already in the dating market. You were already in a dating pool. You were already at your best. You've done this before. So you know what it takes. Just go out there and do it. That's what's called accountability. You see what I'm saying? That's what's called putting you in a position where your standards have to be maintained because at the end of the day, I have to maintain my standards. At the end of the day, I have to keep doing what I got to do to stay at my best. So if I'm doing that, be an adult yourself and do the same thing too. That's my
Mm-hmm.
mentality with it. And any guy, any reasonable guy would think that way. The reason why it becomes outside of those realms and the reason why people get to a point where now they have to start actually being disrespectful to you is because now you're basically saying, okay, I don't have to uphold these values. I don't have to uphold these standards. I can basically become a size 24 overnight. You have to accept it and you have to do what you have to do. In other cultures, in other civilizations, in other ethnicities, women have kids, then they go and turn around right after they have the kid and they go and basically get in the gym and they basically watch their diet and then they drop the weight. But when it comes to black women, oh well, here's the excuse. I had a child. So because I had a child, it's okay for me to put on the weight. No, it's not. You have a responsibility. At the end of the day, it's your body. But at the end of the day, it's also your health too. You have a responsibility to the person that you with. You don't want that person to have wandering eyes. You want that person to still find you attractive. Then stay at the place that the person found you attractive, or whatever area that that person continuously finds you attractive at. Make sure you stay in that lane. It's very easy. Women are always seeking validation. They're always seeking attention, and they're always seeking out. What do you think? Ask the fucking question. What the fuck do you think? And based on his response, based on his answer, you will know where he stands on that position. You will know how he thinks. And as long as he keeps telling you you good, and as long as he keeps telling you straight, you in a good position. Now he starts giving you that look, he starts giving you that, lack of interest to the level that it was like to not the level that it originally was, or you see he starts pulling back, those are clear indicators physically that you've lost it a little bit. And now you
Right.
need to go ahead and tighten yourself up and do what you have to do, especially when you're dealing with a man that has options, a man that could sit there at any given moment, get up and go out there in the market value and just boom, pick up whatever. So it cuts both ways. This is not just and this is the misconception with women. They're thinking, oh well, I could look like whatever, and people will hit up my DMs, or I look like whatever, and people will reach out to me. Yeah, beta males will do that to you.
Or
Guys,
yeah, or they'll reach out to fuck you.
exactly. Guys that's trying to fuck you, or guys that's sitting there and basically googling over you. But guys that have purpose, like me and a Ross, guys that don't have time like that, guys that have a lot of shit going on, we're not gonna be sitting there in your fucking DMs googling you. We're not gonna be doing all that bullshit. We are guys that can go out there in the dating market, and we could go out there and basically find whatever we want to find when it's all said and done.
Yeah.
And the biggest picture with people, and the biggest thing is, people are feeling some type of way because you're telling the truth. See, this is what I was talking about when I said Kevin Samuels' legacy is a powerful legacy, because at the end of the day, they called Kevin Samuels an angry brother too. At the end of the day, they called Kevin Samuels a brother who basically didn't know what he was talking about because he saw black women in a certain viewpoint. This is what we're talking about when we say, when you tell
It
the
wasn't
truth,
just black women though. You saw women in general in a
women
certain
in
viewpoint.
general,
But
women
black
in
women
general,
was the main people that was calling the show.
exactly.
But you saw women in general, American women a certain way.
But this is the thing. When you tell people the truth, they're gonna always bear false witness against you. They're gonna label you. They're gonna marginalize you, just like they call Kevin Samuels a misogynist. Of course, you're gonna call a he knows everything a angry fucking brother. I mean, it is what it is. When people tell you the truth, it bothers people, because women, at the end of the day, especially modern day women, the way that you look at the landscape of it, let's just keep it a buck. In my estimation, over 95% of these motherfuckers walking around are trash. They have a trash mindset. They think like fucking trash. They have this modern day viewpoint where they think they're the man. They have this modern day viewpoint where they want to back talk. They don't have no accountability. And at the end of the day, they want to do whatever they want to do. And then at the same time, they want to be with a man. That's not going to fucking happen. There's no man that I know on the face of this earth that has confidence, purpose, and abundance mindset, that carries himself a certain way, that's going to be in a relationship, that's going to be in any form of any kind of companionship with a woman, and the woman's going to think that she's going to be the one to wear the fucking pants. That's not going to happen. Not on any ounce of anywhere on God's green earth. So if you want to acquiesce to that, you want to be beta male to that and say, well, yeah, she should be able to have 50-50. No fucking way does a woman have 50-50 in any scenario, in any situation. Oh, she's my equal. No. In the origin of earth, God never created it for man and woman to be equal. When God said be fruitful and multiply, he didn't tell Eve be fruitful and multiply. He told Adam be fruitful and multiply. When God gave provisions and commandments, Adam was the one that had to dole out the provisions and the commandments. If you guys really study your scriptures, if you guys really saw how things worked in the beginning and the origins, man was created to be the person who had to basically uphold the mantle. And when we look at modern day society, this is what Kevin Samuels was bringing out. This is why Kevin Samuels was a particular type of prophet, because he was basically coming in and telling people straight up, in its most visceral form of truth, which y'all get butthurt about, that nah, if you want this type of situation, you want to be in a relationship with a man, you want to be able to have what you want, then you got to bring something of value intrinsically and extrinsically. The intrinsic part is you need to be cooperative, you need to be submissive, and you need to have good fucking behavior. The extrinsic part is you need to play your fucking role. Know what being a helpmeet means. And don't sit there and try to act like you're more of a man than the man in the fucking room. Doing these things are toxic.
Let's be honest. You need to bring something monetarily to the situation too, because you can't have nothing and expect everything from a man.
Yep.
And you can't be a woman who has everything and expect a man to have. It's like this. It's like women want to be able to have nothing but still get a man that got everything. When they have everything, they don't want to deal with a man that has nothing. You can't have it both ways.
Exactly.
You can't have it both ways. So you can't be a woman that when you up, you won't help build a man to get up.
Mm-hmm.
And then it be that type of woman, but expect men that are up to reach down and grab women who have nothing.
Exactly.
A lot of men have fell to the wayside, have lost everything. The Bible is the white man's manual for the unconscious. The white man has absolutely nothing to do with the Bible.
Facts.
Nothing. They haven't even been around long enough.
I
People don't realize white people ain't even been around long enough.
Ross, I don't even know why we entertaining people that ain't even donate, dog.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm surprised. I thought I was gonna stop seeing his comments after the last comment he wrote. Like,
yeah,
exactly. Like that, we don't even need to see their comments. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you hear sucking a white man's dick and you still don't know that the Bible is about your people, and you don't see any white people living by the Bible, so how is the white man's manual?
Exactly.
They don't live by that manual.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, back to what the fuck we talking about.
Exactly. In the honor of Kevin Samuels, we blocking any motherfucker that's on some bullshit, man. Keep going, bro.
You know what I'm saying? The thing is, what black men need to realize is every woman is not your mother.
Mm-hmm.
Every woman don't need you to come to their aid, and even your mother have done things that she was wrong about.
Yep.
And if you're being honest, you know your mother was no saint. If you're being honest, you know a lot of shit she said about your dad was all cap.
Facts.
If you grow up in a single parent household and the only view of what happens from your mother, you need to be quiet till you find out your father's view. And if your father has passed away and he cannot no longer give his view, then you need to let all that shit go, period. Because there's two sides to every story. You know what I'm saying? That's the problem. You got niggas who think they get some type of extra kudos if they always come in the defense of women. That's the worst thing you could do is come into the defense of a woman who's wrong. The worst thing you could do, all you do is boister her, and all you do is reaffirm her negative behavior.
Exactly.
And then she's independent anyway. She says she's strong, independent, don't need no man. So why are you coming to save her?
Exactly.
Let her stand on that. Any woman who has ever told me, I'm strong, I'm independent, I don't need a man, I can do everything by myself, I have immediately stopped helping them and watched them struggle.
Yep.
Because that's what I'll do to any man.
Because you can carry the weight, right? You can carry the burden. Go out there and fucking carry it.
If I was helping one of my little brother, he told me, man, I don't need your help, I'll stop helping him immediately.
Exactly.
And watch him fucking fail.
Yep.
You supposed to appreciate help.
That's
not
it.
Not resent it.
Exactly.
Because if someone don't appreciate your help, they resent you for helping them. Even if they need it, they resent you.
Or they take it, or they take your help for fucking granted.
They see it as a weakness.
Pull back from that shit too.
They see it as a weakness because they need your help to begin with.
Mm-hmm.
So to reframe that, they have to put it in their mind they're taking advantage of you.
Exactly.
So you never just offer your help, especially to the woman, man. If she doesn't humble herself to ask you, then don't give it because she'll resent you for giving it to her.
Yep.
I haven't learned that. I had to learn in a lot of areas women aren't logical. They just do shit off emotion. And if they feel them taking help from some women feel them taking help from a man is a horrible thing.
And even when they ask you simple questions, even when and that's why this beta male didn't get it. Even when they ask you simple questions, you don't give them exactly the answer they want. You still got to lead the situation on how you respond. Just because they want to know something, that doesn't mean that you sit there and give them the exact answer. You tell them what you're thinking and you leave it alone and you give them your honest assessment on it. That's what you're supposed to do in the situation. So if you ask me straight up, how do I look? Am I too big? Yeah. Salute to Brian AG. Appreciate the super chat. Am I too big or have I put on too much pounds? I'm gonna turn around and ask you the same fucking question. What do you think? So if that's me being an asshole, then so be it. I'll be the fucking asshole.
That's not being an asshole. That's you taking a butt. What they're doing is this. When a woman start asking you about their shape, it's because they're insecure. They know they're fat.
Exactly.
but they want to be able to blame it on you. So they want to
Yeah.
put you in the midst of it. No, what do
So
you
you
think?
want me to be the dodo head to fall myself into a gaslighting trap of basically saying, yeah, I think that you have put on too much weight, and I think you are as big as a house. Then that's gonna create a situation in and of itself. No, I'm gonna ask you, what do you think? So that way you can give yourself an honest assessment. Don't
Right.
project your bullshit on me. If you feel in some type of way, you're not gonna project that shit on me. You need to deal with that shit on your end.
The problem is most men look at women like they're their mothers, man.
Exactly.
All because a woman actually, you ain't even gotta answer her question.
Nope.
If you feel like that question beneath you or is stupid, is childish, you ain't gotta answer that shit.
Nah.
Let's be honest. They ask you a lot of questions just so you can say certain things.
Exactly.
They sit around and just ask dumbass questions. You don't gotta
Hmm.
answer everything a woman asks you.
Yep.
It's not life or death. And then, you could either be straight up and say, yeah, you got fat. Or you could say, what do you think? Like, why are you asking me that? Oh, because I feel like I put on weight. Okay, then that's what it is. It's your body.
Yep.
If you still feel like you put on weight, you put on weight. What you want me to do? Tell you the opposite? The
Exactly.
problem is they're insecure. They're feeling bad. They ask you the question so you could tell them, no, honey, you look great. It don't matter how big you
Exactly.
get. They set you up to lie to them.
Yep.
So any motherfucker who don't understand women at this point, you never gonna understand them.
You never gonna understand that shit. And this is what Kevin Samuels was all about. Okay, you asking me that question. You're gonna get one or two answers. You're gonna get the truth, because I'm gonna give it to you, or I'm gonna funnel the question right back at you. This is how you respond. See, we're giving you guys the gems and the jewels here. This is how you respond to women when they ask you these types of questions. You either tell them the brutal, honest truth, you channel your inner Kevin Samuels, or you ask them a question right back. You get rhetorical what they ask. And then you will see that they will open up like a chatterbox and start telling you what they start thinking and give their assessment, as opposed to you falling into some fucking trap. Why live your life on eggshells? Why have a situation where everything is cool and then 5 minutes later, because you answered the fucking question the wrong way or you were stupid enough to fall for the trap, now you're getting yelled at? We trying to teach y'all some shit, man. Y'all better listen the fuck up and pay attention.
I don't even
But
see why
anyway,
dude still, I don't even see why he's still in the chat.
at
He's
the end
not
of the day,
donating to the
man. At the
platform.
end of the day, I went ahead and put his ass on timeout. So let me go ahead and block.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, how you
But
come here telling us? We're telling you, nigga, we ain't come here for advice.
exactly,
How you telling us anything? We
exactly,
just said it's ways to go about doing it.
exactly.
The reason why he's saying that because he will lie.
Yep.
Because he's not listening. He's saying that because he will
No,
lie.
the
He's
reason
trying
why
to.
he's saying that, Ross, is because he's one of those types of dudes that will fall into the trap of getting into that and letting her fight against him and letting her basically say, okay, thank you for giving me the validation, and then turn around and say, why are you lying to me? Because this is a thing a lot of women do.
That's what I
They
said.
know
He will
they
lie.
put on
He will
extra
lie.
weight, right? They know they put on the extra weight, right, Ross? They know that they big. They know they honest with themselves. You turn around and you lie to them, then they get on you and say, why are you lying to me? I would have respected you more if you would have told me the truth.
Yeah.
They turn around and tell you that shit.
Yeah.
So why not just tell them the truth, or just ask them the fucking question and be done with it?
Yeah. Think about it. That would be he don't. Men who say that don't believe in challenging women. To ask her what do you think is a challenging question. So that type of shit really make a lot of men heart stop. They
Yep.
don't challenge women. They will never be like, you know what? Why you asking me that? What do you think? They look at women like they're fucking mothers.
Mm-hmm.
They look at women as their mother. A woman can tell most men come in at this time, or else, and them niggas gonna be there.
Yep. Shout out to the live where he said came to support, speaking true facts, love, knowledge from both. Kevin was the architect of standing on his truth. Facts. Go ahead, Ross.
Architect, man. You know what I'm saying? Most men, women dictate to them when to come, what to wear, how to sit, what to say.
Yep.
And this is the reason why they got a problem with niggas who be like, you know what, real talk, I don't gotta do shit you say.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Last time I said I'm the man.
Yep.
In the black community, it's not gonna work if the man ain't the man.
Yep.
None of the shit they do in other communities is gonna work.
Exactly.
None
You
of
can
it.
say that shit again, man.
You have to be a master, to be a real black man and stay one. You can't be with a modern woman. They got to submit.
Exactly.
Why you think D Wade has to act like a homosexual
Yep.
just to be in a
Woof.
heterosexual
Woof.
relationship with a black woman? He has to be
Woof.
a homosexual mentally
Wow.
because that's the only way
Wow.
it's gonna work.
So basically, what you're saying is Dwayne Wade's baby mama was right when she said Gabrielle Union was going to react this way, because she did say that Gabrielle Union was going to turn her kids out so many years ago.
Yeah, yeah. Gotta understand one thing, man. The black man, as we are put on this earth to be. I say
Mm-hmm.
black because that's what y'all colloquially call each other. And I gotta speak
Yep.
to y'all. I can't speak over your head. The black man, how we meant to be, can't be with a modern woman. They won't be with us
Nope.
because we
They're
won't
trash.
submit. You
Trash.
have to be a homosexual version of yourself.
Yep.
Why you think Will Smith? He's dominated by Jada Pinkett. He
Yep.
can't be a dominant man to be with Jada Pinkett.
Why you think on
Yeah,
Snowfall Louis is dominating Jerome?
he had to subdue himself
Mm-hmm.
because there's no such thing as an equal relationship. You make a
Exactly.
woman equal to you, she'll start dominating you.
Yep. Whoosh.
And all because you're above her, all that means is you got more responsibilities than her.
Exactly.
That don't mean you step on her,
Yep.
because God don't allow you to step on your wife either. You owe her a certain type of respect. But you,
Yep.
since you have the most responsibility, she's supposed to acquiesce to you.
Exactly.
Because that's the role.
And you make the final
That
decisions.
the problem is most
When
niggas don't have
everything
the
boils
balls.
down to it, the final decisions have to be you. The buck stops with you. Good, bad, or ugly, it stops with you.
The problem is most niggas don't have the balls to tell a woman, like, you know what? I don't accept that.
Exactly.
You accept everything because you accept everything from your mom. And truth be told,
Exactly.
even as a kid, it comes to a time where you're supposed to have barriers, even for your parents, man. Your parents can't
Exactly.
talk to you a certain way, man.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? You might have to take an ass for defending yourself, but your
Yep.
parents not supposed to just bust in your room and shit and just treat you like shit and just drag you and start whooping your ass for no reason.
Yep. Yep.
Like it's a boundary, man. You're a
Yep.
human being.
Yep.
You're supposed to have boundaries for everybody, particularly your woman. Because if you
Yep.
don't put a boundary, she's gonna step on you.
Yep. And
You know
she
what I'm
gonna put the
saying?
foot on the fucking necks too. Shit.
Point blank period. And that's the problem. A lot of niggas, they don't have no boundaries with nobody. Everybody treat them like shit,
Mm-hmm.
particularly women. And
Mm-hmm.
they don't understand why you just don't let it happen.
Yep.
They think you the problem because I'm good. Yeah, my wife talk to me any kind of way, but we make it work.
Yep.
I'd rather be single if I let a woman
Yep.
talk to me any kind of way.
Yep.
I'll die first if I'm in a relationship with a woman who don't know that when I be like, I don't want to talk about it, it's over with.
Yep.
If you can't understand that, I'll be single. When I'm
Yep.
done talking about something, it's over with.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
And the bottom line, and we have to break this shit down, Ross, is women, they may not like you checking them or you putting them in their place, but that shit turns them on. And at the end of the day, it makes them respect you. And they'll tell you that shit. The natural woman that's in her natural essence would like it. They would understand it because they're naturally submissive. You have what I call these intermediate type females. They're kind of stuck in the web of what a modern day woman is, but they have traditional mindsets and traditional principles. Devontae
Devontae
Adams
Anthony
said,
needs a
"Where's the
link.
link to donate?" I mean, we got the banner right up under there, man. It's right there. It's letting you know the Cash App. But let me put another banner up so you have an idea. Bomb. There you go. That's where you got to do it, dog. So that banner's gonna stay up. Devontae Anthony. You could make sure you donate to motivate to both sides of the equation. My Cash App and Tom Ross's Venmo as well too. So that banner's up. But yeah, you have your intermediate ones, Ross, the ones that
or
are caught
or
in the
or,
web.
or to keep it simple, just donate to Heknows Cash App, and we're gonna split everything because
There you
I
go.
won't know what came from what. Cause I get Cash Apps from other people, so I'll just keep it simple. Just donate to Heknows Cash App, and we're gonna
Mm-hmm.
split it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
So I'm keeping both banners up just in case. Salute to Brian Knight. Appreciate the donation, the motivation. But yeah, you have your intermediate ones. They hear the gospel of feminism, and feminism is really what started the whole masculine energy. If people are really paying attention, that's where masculine energy came from feminism.
yeah.
That's what created all this bullshit. And the ones who brought you feminism, the white women, are not even following that shit because
They don't even follow that shit.
when they get to a certain age, they want a family. When they get to a certain age, they want to have kids and stuff like that. So they acquiesce and they play their fucking position in their roles in their marriages.
And
The
nowadays,
reason why feminism became prominent and prevalent was during World War II. This is where the shit became because a lot of these men had to go and fight off and go to war and shit like that. And then the woman had to be the one to basically manage the home because you don't know if this motherfucker's coming back or not. That's where the evolution of this should happen. Prior to
right,
that, it was what the fuck it was. You had the man in the house who led, then you had the woman, and then you had the kids. But what happened when these men came back? Most of them, the women fell right back in line with their position. But who's always the one that adopts and takes on this bullshit? Just like they adopted and took on food stamps. Because when food stamps came out initially, it was for white women. That was for the same reason. Their men went off to war in World War II, and they needed to be taken care of financially. But what happened when these men came back? They got off government assistance. What happened when these men came back? They put off the cloak of feminism. But who takes on the bullshit and takes it on and carries it on from generation to generation? It's the black woman. Oh no, you can't have a black man in the house because if you do, they ain't gonna give us government assistance. You can't have a black man in the house because if you do, he's gonna tell you what to do and he's gonna, tell you this is his house, it's his rules. So no, it can't be like that. So you just got to be a baby mama. Who's infecting and indoctrinating this bullshit? It's
right.
black women from generation to generation. And this is what Kevin Samuels was talking about. If people were really paying attention. But the other white women in these other cultures, Ross, when World War II was done, didn't they go back to their original state?
Well,
I'm just saying.
they sure did, man. What a lot of black men not realizing is anything that they're promoting to you, you should do the opposite.
Yep.
If you want the type of woman you want, not gonna be your age. Because if she's your age, that means she's under the indoctrination heavy of the I don't need a man. It's like they're confused. They don't need a man, but they cry because they don't have men and they complain about men all day, but they're independent. Independent men who don't complain about women.
Exactly.
We're living life.
Yep.
They're independent because they're living in a way that's contrary to their nature.
Yep.
Their nature, they want a family. They want this, they want
Yep.
that. The white women had told them, you don't need that. You need to focus on your career. That's what they told them. These white women tell them that shit, and secretly they have kids by the men who they tell you not to be with. They
Exactly.
making it so that they can have multiple men. Because nowadays white women have a husband and they got several black men, lame black men, if you ask me, that's fucking them.
Yep.
I could never share a woman with another man and know it.
Exactly.
But I'm saying this to say that just how they finesse the game. They got their cuckold husband. They got a nigga who don't value himself.
Yep.
Fucking them. A man you could be married, happily married to, but they told you you don't need a man.
Yep.
They finessed you out of your men.
Yep.
They don't believe that shit. They don't believe that feminist shit. You see how they stood tall with Trump?
Yep.
Who the fuck got Trump in office? It was white women. Majority vote.
Exactly.
The woman who told you you don't need no man, they sided with the man. At the end of the
Exactly.
day, they finessed you.
Being a Miss America for him.
They
and and
continue.
and, and him openly grabbing their fucking crouch.
They continue to finesse black women because black
Woo.
women are the only ones who fight everybody's causes.
Stuck on stupid.
You fight the LGBT cause. You
Dumb
fight
as
the
fuck.
lesbian. You fight the abortion cause. You fight the
Hmm.
feminist cause. You fight
Yep.
every cause. Well, who's fighting for you? It could be black men, but you tell black men you don't need them. So we
Exactly.
don't fight for you. You don't need
And you
us, so
give us
fuck you.
unrealistic standards and expectations, but let it be a white man or anybody else, you acquiesce and automatically say, I'm available. I'm willing to do this. I'm willing to do that. You don't put all of those barriers and standards when it's somebody of another ethnicity, but you're doing it with your own.
That's grooming. That's mind control.
Yep.
That's all that is.
Yep.
That's all it is. Grooming is mind control. Because it's kind of like the average, not all, but the average black woman would rather be alone than be cooperative with a black man. And
Facts.
that's just that's a mental block that you
Yep.
feel that if you're too cooperative with a black man, you have to make something, some type of drama. You got to make some type of argument. Something got to be wrong. It can't be a harmony.
Yep.
Do you know that's a mental block?
Not realizing that core principle came from slavery, because in slavery, what did they do when the white man was dealing out? He basically said, hey, you black men, go this way. Hey, you black women, go that way. Hey, you children, go that way. That's where that shit came from, man. And
Yeah.
the indoctrination of it has manifested and gone down from generation pool line to generation pool line. And you don't realize, subconsciously, ignorantly, and through naivety, you still doing the same bullshit and fuck shit by acquiescing to that instead of fighting against it.
Well, thing is, some people they gotta run into a brick wall. So now what they have now, they call them divestors. So it's black women who go around and they recruit other black women to say, we're against the black man and to have children by white men.
Facts.
Do that. I want as many of black women to do that. I want them all to do that.
Exactly.
All y'all go and have children by white men and go get married and
Yep.
see how they treat you like shit.
Yep.
Go do that. I'm not
It's
stopping you.
gonna
I'm
be
happy for
slavery
you.
all over again. Go ahead.
I'm happy for you because while all white men not doing that, I know some white men who actually treat their black wives pretty good. The
Mm-hmm.
majority of them, you can't. I knew of a chick that was in the Navy who had to go through her spouse's back door,
Yep.
and the children and the husband could come through the front door. She had to go through
Mm-hmm.
the back, and she dealt with that shit for 10 years.
Damn.
She would have never dealt with that from a black family,
Nope.
not for a day. Where she had went through the back door of a black house. She did that because she felt inferior to those people.
Exactly.
You let people treat you inferior when you feel inferior to them.
Exactly.
She would have never went through the back door of a black family. If a black
Yep.
family would have told her go through the back door, she would say, "You know what? This ain't for me."
Yep.
And that's the thing. Everything's being blamed on the black man, but let's be honest. The black man, we have our issues, but this breaking up of the family is not our issue.
It's not.
Every black man I know that got kids want to be in their kids' life. Every
Exactly.
one of them. Even the nigga I know that gonna caught bodies. If he don't care about nothing, he care about his children, man.
No matter the level they want to be involved.
So we have our issues, but at the end of the day, it's telling that when somebody like Kevin Samuels dies, there's people clapping for his death.
Yep.
But when King Von died, this black woman crying. What did he do to get you to cry for his death?
Exactly.
Besides talk about killing his own people.
Exactly.
What did he do for your respect?
Exactly.
I'm from Chicago. I don't disrespect the dead, but I ain't losing no sleep when King Von died.
No.
He didn't do anything to impress me.
Kevin Samuels has done more prolifically than a lot of other people. I'm going to be honest with you. I'm going to go even controversial here. Nipsey Hussle. And Nipsey Hussle has some good things about him. But the way that he died, Ross covered this eloquently. The way that he died, it was because of the fact that he was being, how should we say this? One track minded. He was being too acquiescing to his environment. And when you're too acquiescing to your own environment can suck you up dry. Kevin Samuels wasn't doing that. Kevin Samuels was coming out with a message to say, look, black women have standards, have accountability. He wasn't even just only talking about black women. He was also talking about women in general and beta males, men that have unrealistic expectations about women they want, but they don't have the capital. They don't have the finances. They don't have their shit together. He was also talking about that. Did y'all forget that message? Or did y'all just wanted to go selectively on what he was
Yeah.
talking
Me
about?
personally, I don't think Nipsey Hussle died for no ignorant shit because that's the case. He could have died decades. He could have died years ago, so long ago. I think he died because he got positive, and they wasn't going to allow him to live in a positive manner. So they was like, "All right, you're not going to do what we want you to do. We'll just get rid of you." I
Mm-hmm.
believe he died because he was actually putting people in Silicon Valley,
Mm-hmm.
putting black kids in Silicon Valley, um, giving people jobs in the neighborhood. That's not what he was supposed to do.
Yep.
He was supposed to get his money, move away, go give money to somebody in Africa or some shit.
Mm-hmm.
Not do nothing for nobody who actually need him here in the States. That to me, that's what. Cause you gotta think about it. Who benefited from him dying?
Our own fucking people.
People who never had a platform all of a sudden got a platform now.
Exactly.
Big U, Whack 100. These
Whack
guys don't have.
100.
Nobody gave a fuck about what they had to say about Khaled
No,
when Nipsey
no,
was alive. Nipsey had
no.
it, but they had to get rid of him so they could bring it back to the ignorant gangbanging shit.
Exactly.
If you ask
And
me,
this is what I'm talking about. That whole situation in and of itself, outside of Nipsey Hussle being a positive figure and basically graduating his state of mental evolution and trying to get to the next level, right? There was still the mindset of I still got to be around these people, knowing very well that these people that you're around, they want you dead. Kevin Samuels wasn't on some shit like that. Kevin Samuels was on the shit of y'all just need to be better. Now, to in your mind, you looked at it and you took it as an extreme position. You took it as this guy right here who how dare him tell me about myself? How dare him be honest to me? How dare him make me have to look at myself in the mirror and do what's called actualization or self realization or look at myself from a reality standpoint? How fucking dare him do that? This is the most disgusting thing in our community. And black women are on top of this shit, which is the lack of accountability. People don't want to look at themselves in the mirror and be
they
honest with
don't.
themselves. They want people to lie to them. This is why you see the evolution of black women. If you look at it every 5 years, black women's inches on their waist, the scale and their size is getting bigger and fucking bigger. And the whole definition of what thick is, that shit keeps getting redefined every 5 fucking years. And you had somebody like Kevin Samuels come in and say, no, we need to be honest about this shit. There's motherfuckers that are thick. Like the motherfucker that he was allegedly with on the last day of him dying, that's a thick motherfucker right there. That's what a thick motherfucker look like. Now, all of these other motherfuckers are what we call big women. They're big, but they don't want to see it that way. So this keeps getting redefined, and then everybody keeps putting themselves in this position where they keep saying, "Well, I'm thick." No, you're not.
Right.
Your ass is north of 200 fucking pounds, and your ass is 5'3", 5'4", 5'5". Come on, man. Do we
Yep.
need to sit
Salute,
there and really,
salute to
really?
Rick Braze it. And, he understand what was happening with Nip. So with Nip did what they say a Crip supposed to do. They're
Mm-hmm.
supposed to revitalize their community. And the day you can't live amongst your own people is a sad day.
Yep.
The day you can't walk down the street amongst your own people is a sad day. I cringe at the fact that people say he shouldn't have been over there. Why can't you be safe among your own people? White people safe. Well, white people when a white person come to your neighborhood, they safe. They know the police gonna fuck some shit up if you do something to them.
Yeah.
We can't be safe around each other. You know what I'm saying? Like so that I cringe at that. I cringe at that mindset that that was a fatal flaw. Well, the fatal flaw is he should have never came back to the community He should have just left. Like, if everybody keep leaving, nothing's ever gonna get done.
Nothing's ever going to get done. But the other
Everybody,
reality, the other alternate reality is our own people can be bought and paid for even when we're in the environment. I'm not telling Nipsey Hussle if your mission is for you to be around your people, you need to be there. Just like it was Malcolm X's mission to be around his people, you need to be there. Nipsey Hussle's life and his and the time that he was meant to be on this earth, that was God's purpose for him. It is what it
yep,
is. You can't change that. And
yep,
God don't make mistakes. That's what his life expectancy was. That's how long he was meant to be on the earth. I'm not going against that. And if he's meant to impact and infect his environment the way he is, then do it. But we've seen miscalculations from people, and we've seen people get a little too comfortable and too acquiescing to their situation, knowing when they have all of this shit going on around them. And look, like you said, the people to profit. These were the same people. I've seen plenty of times when Nipsey Hussle was around, he wouldn't have thought that these people would have turned on him. These people were hanging around him, kissing his ass. The whack 100s, the big U's, they were right there with him. But then they want to turn around and shit on him. You know, he had this technology that he was trying to put out in shirts, and this technology he was trying to put out in all kinds of stuff in stores. Big U was the main one blocking the shit, left and right. That, oh, you know, you got to get permission from the hood. You got to get permission from
exactly.
our people in order for you to push your shit. This is what I'm talking about. This is the cancer
Yeah,
in
but think
in
about it
our
is
community.
that's why God let it be the way it be. God control
Mm-hmm,
this. Them niggas doing what God. That's why he let it be the way it be. That way we can
mm-hmm.
see who our enemy is.
Yep,
Why do he need permission from another black man to do anything?
exactly.
Anything that's for the people. Why I need permission for you to give jobs to other black people?
When I could just do it naturally.
That's the reason why he had to do it there so people could see. It's black people that's working with white people don't want to see you have nothing. I wrote a book about this shit.
Yep,
And then now all you see is playing out in real life. I predicted this shit. This is how it is. These people work with these our enemies to
yep,
make sure we don't never have anything.
yep.
But if we always move away and do shit, we will never see the truth of the matter. The truth of the matter,
Exactly.
how the hood really works, we will never know if Nipsey would have left.
Yep,
Because other people would have allowed him to do it. But the fact that you can't do something in your own neighborhood is an issue.
yep,
Your own people are stopping you and working with white folks to kill you.
yep.
Because if you look at that, you look at him being, you look at that, it wasn't that was an orchestrated hit.
Mm-hmm.
I know it. People don't. This is what people don't realize about street shit. It's not the movies. It's not niggas just running around shooting at each other.
Exactly.
And it's not King Von and them. Them niggas is not street niggas. The
Mm-mm.
street niggas don't make songs about killing people.
Exactly.
I don't know what they are, but that's not that them niggas. Those aren't the people that those aren't street guys. Street guys need permission to do street shit from certain people. And if you don't have that type of permission to kill certain people, you asking for a shit storm.
And killers move in silence.
So whoever killed Nipsey Hussle were permitted by
Yep.
Big U to do it.
Yep.
And when you watch how it went down, it was an orchestrated hit. Everybody around him just walked away.
Yep. And Whack 100 knew. That's why you see him running his mouth the way he's running. They made him the mouthpiece to tell the whole story. Just like Louis Farrakhan became the mouthpiece to tell the whole story on what would happen with Malcolm X. That's how that shit is, man. They always got one person that's the one to do the hit, and then they always got the other motherfucker that's the mouthpiece to tell you how the hit went down. And nobody's gonna say shit. Nobody's gonna do nothing because when it comes to killing our own, nobody looks out when it comes to killing our own. They actually want that. What do they show on TV? When Miami had cocaine cowboy days in the 70s, in the 80s, who was they showing the most? They wasn't showing the people that was behind the shit, the Colombians. They were showing black people. That's what pictures they were showing. When Chicago had the height of their shit going on, who was they showing? Especially during Obama's presidency time. What were they highlighting? They were highlighting crime, black on black crime in Chicago. Black people are killing black people in Chicago, not realizing in Chicago there's a lot of white crimes that are being taken place. There's a lot of white deaths that are happening. White people are killing each other
every
off.
day.
There's a lot of Italian mobsters. There's a lot of shit going on outside of that. But no, they want to highlight the black sector. They did this shit in California, the West Coast. They did this shit in New York, the East Coast. They've done this over and over and over again and slapped you in the face with it. But what have they always shown? They've shown the picture of black people. This is why when we as black people, going back to the Kevin Samuels situation, black women are not supporting our black men the way that we're supposed to. This is why it's a slap in the face. Because when Kevin Samuels died, black women should have taken this moment to be on Twitter and everywhere excoriating and lighting a flame on any motherfucker that had anything negative to say about Kevin Samuels.
It was some on there doing that, but not enough. It was some.
Exactly.
I got to salute the women. I did a live stream on it. I got to salute the women that were, but it just wasn't enough because let's be honest, the mindset is not there. The mindset, something drastic has to happen for women to realize there's no fantasy world.
Yep.
Right now, under this this white infrastructure, they can still fantasize that there's a fantasy world.
Yep.
So something
and
drastic.
I saluted the slim picking ones that did do it as well too, on my community posts and stuff like that as well too, because there are slim picking ones that have done that. But the majority of them, for them to sit there and celebrate, for them to sit there and be all happy about this shit, for them to sit there and basically have a party, they're not realizing once again you're doing your slave master, yes, master's work. That's exactly what you're doing. The divide and conquer work.
They basically proved
this is beyond pathetic, man.
They basically proved Kevin Samuels right.
Yep.
They proved him right on everything that he said.
Yep.
There's no woman with any type of class would do that, even to somebody they don't even like.
Exactly.
No woman would do that. They proved him right.
Super right.
So actually, it was poetic that they did that.
And what they don't realize, me and Ross said this offline, now that he's died, he's going to come into what's called being infamous. So now you sitting here celebrating thinking he's gone away. His shit is going to be more in your face now. Because he's going to have guys like us that's going to continue on the message and bring it to newer heights. And then at the same time, his own message in of itself is going to be on replay like nobody's business. So really, what did you gain from erroneously celebrating this shit?
Nothing. One thing you did was expose yourself. But it's a deeper. There's a deeper level to this.
Mm-hmm.
And the level is deep down. A lot of black women hate black men.
Yep.
Not men. Hate black men specifically.
Black men. Yep.
And a lot of them hate themselves.
Yep.
Why do I say they hate themselves? Because only a woman that hates themselves would change everything about them. Would change everything about their natural look.
Yep.
Their skin, their hair,
yep,
their eye colors, the eyelashes. Go get their body tinkered with. Only a woman who hates how they naturally look would do all that.
Yep.
Women who have accepted their natural beauty, even if they're not the most beautiful, don't touch what God created.
Facts.
So
hellified point.
So that's the problem. If you hate
and I'm gonna
yourself,
do this because Ross did this. I'm gonna do it once too. You didn't donate, but your comment was powerful. So we will do this. We'll give once every now and then. Even in war, men show respect for their damn enemy. But these broads can't even humble themselves to show condolences.
That's what happens when you live in a fantasy world. When you live in a fantasy world where you're God, because mostly all the women who was doing that, they're all like call themselves witches and gods and divine spirits and shit like that.
And goddesses and all that bullshit.
When you live in that fantasy world that you're a god that struggles to pay their rent. Keep that in mind. A guy who who got to kiss ass at work so they don't get fired. You a god,
Mm-hmm.
though.
Yeah.
When
That
you have
same
that mind,
goddess, that same goddess that's basically getting her back blown out by men that she want, but the man is with another woman. Yeah, right. She's a goddess.
right? When you had that mindset that you're a goddess, you have no accountability or
Mm-hmm.
you have no remorse for the things you say and you do. This is the reason why a lot of these women be in and out of friendships, in and
Yep.
out of relationships.
Yep.
They can't keep nobody around them because they believe everything they say should be accepted because they're God.
Exactly.
God don't even move that way. God has an order.
Yep.
God don't even get delete people because he don't like them no more. Because
Yep.
you're not doing what he say do.
Yep.
If that's the case, you'll wake up and half the fucking world be gone.
Yep.
If God was like women, you'll wake up and you'll just be gone just because you got on his nerves.
Exactly.
And that's the thing. That mindset is a toxic mindset.
And this is how you could tell God by nature is not feminine because he don't move by fucking emotions up and down
Right.
wayward like that.
If you're telling yourself you're a god and you got a son, you're telling your son he should worship women.
Yep.
Vicariously by your actions, you telling your son that he should worship women.
Facts.
The women can't even get along with each other.
Yep.
Y'all don't even get along with each other
And you know why they don't get along with each other, Ross? Because they tell
because
the
they
truth
know
on
each
each
other
other.
bullshit.
Because they know the bullshit that they all are, and they tell you that I can't deal with these women. They catty, they petty. They tell on each other, man.
That's why.
Ooh, shit.
But you raise your son to be submissive to a woman.
Mm-hmm.
Just how strong it is. They side with women over anything, even their own fucking children.
Facts.
A man don't supposed to side with a man over everything. If I don't agree
No,
with you, I don't agree with you. You know
exactly.
what I'm saying? That's what logical people do. They agree with what they agree with. They don't what they don't. They don't side with you just because you the same sex as them.
Or we cool.
Or we
Or we
cool, or you know what
boys.
I'm
Or
saying?
we brothers.
Like, nah, it don't work
Nah.
that way.
If we don't fucking agree, we don't fucking agree.
We don't agree. It's fine. Move on.
Exactly.
Next topic. We don't agree. You know what I'm
And then
saying?
the respect of agreeing to not disagreeing. Respect your position and respect my position. That's also important too. And that's what real men
Mm-hmm.
do. But these women, they don't do this shit. And they are already all fucked up in of themselves. And now they want to tell you how to govern yourself. I mean, this shit makes no fucking sense.
It's
Even
not.
when you try to make this shit make sense, it's ridiculous. You got a bunch of lawless people trying to tell you how to be lawful. Does that make any sense to you guys?
You gotta understand one thing, man. The last thing I expect from them is logic and rationality.
Mm-hmm.
I expect a lot of made up shit on the spot, this, that, and the third. But my only challenge to black women is this: understand your fantasies is yours alone. Once you enter the presence of somebody else, or
Mm-hmm.
they enter your presence, it's all about reality.
Facts.
So in your mind, you might be a bad bitch, but in reality, you're 400 pounds, not a bad bitch.
Exactly.
In your mind, you might be a good woman, but in
Mm-hmm.
reality, you have a resentment towards men and you have microaggressions towards your own
Yep.
race. You're
You
not a
got
good woman.
toxic as fuck personalities.
You're not a good woman.
Nope.
No matter how you feel about things, there's things that are fact.
Yep. And
Your
you tell
emotions
yourself
is
you
the
good, but
problem.
when you ask everybody around you, including other women, they're like, this person right here is a bitch. That's what
Right.
everybody says about you.
Right. Here's the problem. A lot of people think because they feel strongly about something, that make it fact.
Yep.
It don't.
Nope.
You can feel something strong until you blue in the fucking face. You could be wrong. It don't make it fact. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
And just paying attention to society will show you that
Yep.
a woman can't raise children on their own. They're
Nope.
incapable of doing that. Why?
Exactly.
The jail cells tell you so.
Exactly. Beta
Most of those
males
men,
tell you that. Beta males tell you that. Effeminate males tell you that.
most of those men are raised by single parents,
Yep.
single women.
Yep.
Can't do it.
Nope. Men that are whipped by women tell you that.
Majority of the functional men I know, majority of them, not all, majority of them had dads.
Yep.
They had fathers.
And if they didn't have
Majority of
that,
the men I
Ross, if they didn't
huh?
have that, Ross, they had an active father personality, father figure, father role model. Some way, somehow,
some type of
they had a
male
motherfucker in there
personality.
giving it to them.
I haven't met one man who had no masculine energy around him that's fully functional. Not
Exactly.
one. Because
Not
how
one.
can you be? If you're a
Exactly.
man, you live in a man's body. Your soul is encased in a man's body, but you have the mind of a woman because all you've been around is women. You're gonna be
Exactly.
everything you do is gonna be diametrically opposed to what you're supposed to be doing.
Exactly. You're gonna challenge.
You're gonna be conflicted in everything you do because you have the mind of a woman.
Doth not nature teach us anything? You're gonna be in contradiction of your own natural core of who you are.
Why do you think D Wade looks like he's always in conflict?
Yep.
Look at his interviews. He's like he's
Yep.
going through inner turmoil. He don't look comfortable
Yep.
saying all that shit. He does like he's going through inner turmoil. Like
And
he's
that's
fighting
what
against himself.
Dwayne Wade's baby mama, man. I have to give her credit. See y'all think we just don't give black women credit. I'm giving her credit because she said this so many years ago. She said the Gabrielle Union is a wicked witch, and she's gonna turn around. She's gonna proselytize my children into doing things and acting in ways that they shouldn't. She said this shit so many years ago,
Yeah.
and they pegged her as crazy for it.
Don't worry. I got I got a I got a series coming about that shit.
Hmm?
So I'm gonna start dropping a series about that.
Yep.
Because the D Ways and the Will Smiths are holding our people back, man. Because
They are.
granted, women need to be checked, but it's because men like them that they feel so empowered to do what they do.
Because really, did D Wade need to get full custody of those kids when they were already fine? You could have went and visited your children and saw your children, but they could have stayed with the original mother. They wouldn't be in
No,
this
if they
fucking
stay with the
position.
original mother, then Gabrielle Union can't sacrifice them to the powers that be.
Exactly.
She can't sacrifice that son. Gabrielle
Yep.
Union don't have no type of relationship with the older son because she can't influence him. You notice
Nope.
you'll never see them in pictures together. She'll
Nope.
never hug the older son. There's
Mm-mm.
no type of motherly love towards the older son because she can't
But
influence him.
she can't.
She only shows love and adoration to the one who she made a girl.
Exactly.
And that's
And
the
then
thing.
Dwayne Wade is right there painting his fucking hair color purple, pink, whatever the fuck you want to call it. And then he even came out and said some story about he questioned his own sexuality. I think that's made the fuck up because Dwayne Wade never talked about that story. How come all of a sudden you talking about that story all of a sudden because of your son and Gabrielle Union? That's some made up shit, man.
But my thing is, let's say if it's not okay, what the fuck they got to do with your kids? If you grow up in a house full of all women and it's women shit around and you're a little boy and there's no men around you, you gonna put your feet in a woman's shoe. You don't know that's a woman's shoe. That don't
Exactly.
mean you supposed to be no girl
Exactly.
because you don't know no better. Nobody teaching you.
Exactly.
And they're laughing at, oh, look how cute he is. Only women are illogical enough to do that. A man will
Mm-hmm.
say a man will take the shit away from you and put you in a boy's shoe right away. Only a woman would think it's cute for a boy to be walking around with a wig on his shoes.
Mm-hmm.
This is the reason why they need supervision. I say this shit, people get mad. I say women low key, if they didn't have no father in their life, they need supervision around kids, man.
Yep.
And they're like, man, that's misogynistic. You ain't never seen the internet, women guns going off in front of little kids and shit. They twerking,
Mm-hmm.
knocking the babies over. They need supervision around children because there's no discipline. There's no doctrine. They have no type of structure.
Exactly.
I'll go as far as say this: a child is better off if they gonna have a single parent. They better off living with the father than they is the mother by the mother's self. Because at
Facts.
least they don't get nothing else. They'll get discipline. The
Exactly.
most disciplined niggas in the world is men is niggas that didn't have no father. Look at these
Yep.
guys in the NBA nowadays. They pin up their hair like women. They
Yep.
color their hair like women. They
Yep.
react to everything like women. They lose their shit about everything.
Yep.
Cry, bitch, and moan and complain about everything.
Wearing fucking dresses.
They wear dresses and shit.
Wearing
That
fucking
don't
thongs.
happen. That don't
Wearing fucking
happen.
panties.
That don't happen in a house with a man.
Nope.
That don't happen.
Because the man in the house is gonna tell you, what the fuck are you doing? Straight up.
This is what it's gonna be. Those things aren't even thought about when there's a man around. Because you see
Yep.
how you supposed to be. A
Yep.
little boy who see a man in the house, see how you supposed to be.
Exactly.
I remember when I was first getting potty trained, what they used to do in the 80s, they used to just sit you on the toilet and your ass just be there all day. So you
Yep.
realize that's where the fuck you supposed to shit at.
Yep.
So you learning to sit and do everything,
Yep.
right? You learn to
Yep.
sit and do everything because that's all you do, and you don't see no man. When my uncle came home from jail, one day he had to pee real bad. He didn't have enough time to close the door, so he was peeing. I saw his back, and I saw he was standing up, and I stood up peeing for the rest of the time. Nobody had to tell me that you stand up and pee. I saw my uncle peeing.
Exactly. Because you learned.
Cause I seen it. I'm
Yep.
like, oh, he supposed to. My mom sit down and shit, but you're a man. He supposed to stand up.
Exactly.
So that's what I did from there
Yep.
on
The
out.
only time you stand down, you sit down when you're using the bathroom, you're taking a shit.
Taking shit. But if you don't have no masculine male image and they send you on a pot all day, all you do is sit. You see your mom sit. You might be sitting until you see a man stand.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? That don't mean you supposed to be a woman because, man, when I was 3, well, I was 4, I used to sit down and pee. So I think I used to no, you were doing what you saw.
Exactly.
Like, these motherfuckers be trying to make any excuse to why to do some fugazi shit. Let's be honest, nigga. You feminine.
Exactly.
That don't got shit to do with your kid. Just because you feminine on me, your kid got to be feminine. You raised, let's be honest. Even before D Wade had children, D Wade was doing suspect shit in Miami. Him and LeBron was doing suspect shit, rocking purses, rocking shirts that had their whole chest up.
But you see, you right. And see, that's part of LeBron too. He was doing suspect shit with LeBron, but when he was with Shaq, that shit was masculine as fuck. When Shaq was in Miami, Dwayne Wade was wearing suits. Dwayne Wade was at them strip clubs. He was fucking with women. He was dressing masculine as fuck. And then once that whole Shaq shit went about and it went away, and then LeBron came, it just became this whole, and you saw that whole NBA was like that. All these motherfuckers just start dressing weird as fuck. From James Harden to Russell Westbrook, all of these motherfuckers, man. And this evolution of men becoming emasculated, feminized, and just basically not being their original selves. And then what was the core thing that you saw that was identical in all these situations? LeBron James ain't had no father. Like you just said, Dwayne Wade was around Gabrielle Union like a motherfucker. You know, James Harden, Russell Westbrook, all these types of motherfuckers. James Harden, I don't think he had a father. You know, like you start seeing all this wayward shit because there wasn't a male figure in the home telling these motherfuckers something is off with what the fuck that you doing. Something don't look right. And you need to fix that shit. If you notice, Chris Bosh was kind of distanced away from Dwayne Wade and LeBron James. He dressed a little bit more masculine. Chris Bosh wasn't on that fugazi shit. And if you notice, he wasn't always hanging with those guys. It was always D Wade and LeBron James. Chris Bosh was always with his, chick that I guess he's been with for so many years now. That's how it was.
But guess what? But guess what the NBA did? Because he wasn't being on that flamboyant shit. That's the one who they tried to say was gay.
Exactly.
And this is the reason why we as a community, we got to check people when they out of pocket.
Yep.
Fucking Skip Bayless talking about spicy boss was spicy. We supposed to check. We supposed to stop everything. Like, first of all, you out of pocket.
Yep.
You're a visitor to our culture.
Exactly.
You need to respect everybody in our culture. That's number one. And number two,
How the hell was Boss spicy when
Boss ain't
Boss
do nothing
wasn't
that was
involved
spicy.
in that shit?
But
You
when
know,
you
you
when
notice he was the first motherfucker they was trying to trade off the team. They was
yeah,
trying to trade him off the team. They were trying to get him off the damn team. You know who put a stop to it? The masculine Pat Riley. He said, "Hell no, nah. Boss is a hellified contributor. The
yeah,
numbers don't
Boss is the
lie.
reason why
Every
the
time
motherfuckers
Boss
was
is in
winning
the lineup,
games.
our team wins."
Right. The thing about it is, if they would have gave the ball to Boss more, they would have won more games. They would have lost so many.
Exactly.
They would have lost in the finals.
I'm not a stats person. Ross ain't a stats person, but we know the numbers. Every time Bosch is in the lineup, regardless who he's playing with, the Miami Heat is that much more potent because they didn't have an answer for that motherfucker. They couldn't stop him. I remember Joakim Noah. You remember that shit, Ross? Joakim Noah was trying to guard Bosch. Bosch had so many foot fadeaways from him. Bosch was like a little mini Akeem Olajuwon in the fucking mid-range to the post. This motherfucker put the ball on the floor. It was over. I remember him
Yeah.
shaking Kevin Garnett. There was series where Bosch basically dominated whoever was in fucking front of him.
Yep.
But they want to sit there and say he needed to be traded first. Because he wasn't acquiescing to the agenda?
Right. He wasn't acquiescing to that shit. He wasn't wearing the pants that came up to the shins,
Mm-hmm.
and he wasn't wearing the tight ass pants and with no shirt under the suit jackets and shit.
Mm-hmm. But LeBron James was the first one to coin the reference MERS. The fuck is a MERS? I promise you, dog. What the fuck is a MERS?
Black men
It's
need
either
black
you
fathers, man.
it's either you have a purse or you have a wallet. Last time I checked, they call that shit a wallet, right? The fuck you got a MERS on? What the fuck is that?
Black men need black fathers.
Yes.
Period.
Yes.
There's no such thing as I can raise this boy to be a man by myself.
Yep.
I see many single mothers think they're doing something, and when you look at the product, they destroying their son, man.
Man, the product come out. The product
Their
don't
son
even come out
can't.
half.
Their son can't handle no adversity
Yep.
at all. Anything don't go his way, they cry about it.
Exactly.
They act just like the mother.
Yep.
They shut down.
Why you think
You know
every
what I'm
time LeBron has lost in the NBA Finals and every time LeBron has not won, he's always pound away to throw the blame somewhere else? What kind of tendency is that? Is that masculine or feminine?
Feminine tendency.
There you go. When Kobe Bryant loses,
Kobe Bryant,
does
masculine tendency.
Kobe Bryant
On
say it
me.
was my team? There you go. You see what Ross did? He put that shit on him. When Jordan loses, did Jordan say it's my team? I remember when Jordan lost to Reggie Miller, that motherfucker said he looked at Phil Jackson and told Phil Jackson, "That's on me." He told him straight up, "That's on me." And then he got on the mic and he wanted Reggie Miller to fear that shit. He said, "You still got to come to Chicago. We will win Game 7. You still Utah, Indiana. I don't care who it is. You still got to." That was the most hardcore shit I've heard a motherfucker say. They still got to come to Chicago. We will win Game 7.
Exactly.
Shit.
It's on me.
That's
the thing. Any man.
Derrick Rose. I'm gonna tell you something right now, Tom Ross. I love that nigga Rose, man. That year that Rose won the MVP. That's why I'm still mad at Tom Thibodeau for running his ass to the ground. But you remember when they lost to the Miami Heat?
He did what he was told to do.
Said, on me.
What you don't realize is these coaches be doing what they told to do. Certain players aren't supposed to be. They don't want certain players to be the face because little kids gonna be just like them.
Exactly.
So they don't want no black man who take responsibility. Why you think the NFL is giving Lamar Jackson such a hard time? He's too accountable.
Yep.
The same attributes that they love in a white man, they don't want a black man to have.
Do y'all realize that Derrick Rose's tenure with the Chicago Bulls would have been 2 more championships in Chicago if they would have done it right? They would have managed the shit right. They would have been, that motherfucker would have had 2 rings with the Bulls. Easy. 2 fucking rings. Because the way he plays is a championship way of playing if you put the right fucking pieces around him and you don't run his ass to the fucking ground.
Well, somebody like him is not supposed to be the face. All the years that Kobe was great without Shaq, they fought against Kobe.
Yep.
They never allowed him to be the unchallenged face.
Yep.
basketball.
Yep.
They fought against him the whole time because he was too masculine.
Yep.
He was too masculine.
Yep.
They did not want black boys to be like that. They
Yep.
don't want you to have a choice to play
Yep.
basketball and you choose to do it. They want you to have no choice because you're desperate, you got a scarcity mindset, and then they can control you.
Shout outs to Alpha Male Strategies. I was watching his video the other day, and you know what he said, Tom Ross? He said, man, throughout Kobe Bryant, he said, I ain't gonna lie to you, when it comes to someone famous, I could tell if they're alpha male or beta male off the rip. Kobe Bryant never gave me not one moment. I watched the whole video. This motherfucker said it
Where
throughout
he
the
was
whole video.
beta.
Kobe Bryant did not give me one moment where he was beta. The way this guy was, he said, and I'm a LeBron guy, but I'm telling you, Kobe Bryant was just alpha, man. Even the way that Vanessa Bryant treats Kobe, you could tell she was attracted to Kobe. You could tell she was into Kobe. Kobe was just an alpha. There was nothing about this guy that exuded beta.
She kept milking that. She kept milking that. You cheated on me, shit. And Kobe Bryant was like, man, I done did all I could do to make up for that shit. If you don't want to be with me no more, then I guess don't be with me.
Exactly.
Let's get this divorce. Then that bitch, she got her shit together.
Yep. And then that's like, when you start hearing her say, when you with a guy like Kobe, how can you be with anything else? I heard her say that eventually. She acquiesced.
She had to get her shit together because it was over with. He was tired of hearing that shit.
Exactly.
Like, man, listen, man, I'm Kobe, man. Yeah, I fucked up. I ain't fucked up since then. You go keep talking about this shit? Oh, no.
Yep.
Oh, no. Fuck, we can get the divorce. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And once he said that shit, she was like, all right, fuck it. And then Rick Ross came with the coldest line.
Yep.
She wasn't with you shooting in the gym.
That's it.
She wasn't with you
shooting in the gym.
She wasn't with you. That's the thing, man.
Shit. And you could tell Drake a beta male because when Drake gave his line, Vanessa clapped back and Drake basically acquiesced to her. Drake should have doubled down on what he said. He said, I said what I said, that's it. Why are you gonna acquiesce and apologize? The fuck?
Should have said nothing.
Rick Ross didn't fucking acquiesce. Rick Ross didn't back down from what he said.
He didn't say nothing.
Said what he said, he was done.
He didn't say nothing. Like,
exactly.
All because somebody give you some negative feedback, you don't gotta say nothing.
Exactly.
You can let them say whatever the fuck they want to say. Your silence is enough.
Yep.
Your silence is a fucking enough. Like, okay, that's how you feel. Good on you.
Yeah.
Oh, you ain't gonna apologize? No.
Nope.
I don't feel I said nothing wrong.
I said what I said. I meant it.
You know what I'm saying? Like Franklin father in Snowfall.
Yep.
When that motherfucker called himself trying to check Austin, he said, "Fuck, I gotta be sorry about."
Exactly.
Fuck you talking about, nigga? I ain't sorry. Fuck, I gotta be sorry about, nigga.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I wish my daughter would tell me I need to apologize to her. I ain't do nothing wrong. If I did something wrong, I would. But I ain't do nothing wrong. I'd be like, man, I ain't apologizing about a goddamn thing. I ain't do shit wrong.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Like, I'm your father. I ain't apologizing to you. Now, if I do something wrong, I would. I'm a man enough to do that. But I'm not apologizing about the way I live my life. I ain't do nothing wrong.
Nah.
What the fuck happened between me and your mother ain't got nothing to do with you.
Exactly.
Period. That shit started before you were born.
And his mission on really what he wanted ultimately wasn't wrong. It's just like me and Ross said, the timing of it and what he was doing, it wasn't ultimately going to be productive. It was kind of like counterproductive.
It wasn't wrong. It was just Franklin was too far. It wasn't the beginning.
Yep.
Franklin was too far in for him to do that.
Yep.
That was the problem.
Now, if he had his shit together, he was clean by then, he was still in the life the whole time, then Franklin would have acquiesced to what he had to say. But Franklin had to go out there and look for your ass in the fucking streets.
Right. He was in the middle of a lot of shit. It was the wrong time. It was the right. At the end of the day, he wasn't wrong for doing what he did. It was just a bad timing. But that's not the shit I'm talking about. Franklin wanted him to apologize for being a Panther and not being in his life, but that was between him and his mother.
Him and his mom. I remember that.
That wasn't Franklin's business.
Yeah, that wasn't Franklin's place to even apologize for that shit.
Yeah, you like,
To
fuck,
tell
I
your
gotta,
dad to apologize for something that he believed in. The fuck?
right. He's like, fuck, I gotta be sorry about.
Yep.
And we need men like that, man. We
Yep.
have too many apologetic men.
Yep.
We have too many apologetic men nowadays,
And he
man.
should have also told Franklin, that's how we had your fucking ass, though. Too. If we didn't go through that shit, I wouldn't have had your fucking ass that way too. I would have told his ass that way too. Shit, and be done with the shit, man. That's how your ass came about.
We got too many apologetic men, man.
Yep.
You know in your heart when there's something you should apologize for, and when you get that string input, you should apologize. My dad used to apologize to us when he used to be cussing us the fuck out, and when it be something petty, and he had this thing where some people that have this thing where they can't hear nobody crunching.
Yep.
It's like a mental thing, but he had that, and then he would flip out and shit. And my mom, she'll be like, "You can't talk to them that way." They like, "Yeah, I'm sorry, y'all. You know I love y'all, man. I don't like when y'all do that shit, man." You know what I'm saying? But he'll apologize because
Yep.
that's a personal thing. We didn't do anything wrong. We're just eating.
Yep.
So, and you know what I mean? So outside of that, when he was right, he apologized for a motherfucking thing.
And he had no reason to apologize for a
When my
motherfucker.
father was right here, he had give a fuck. The whole house was mad at him.
Yep.
He'll make his own goddamn food.
And that's
You know what I'm saying?
and interwoven in this back to Kevin Samuels. That's why these black women are mad, because they wanted to have this situation where men could apologize and men could basically acquiesce to their validation or their gaslighting or their narcissistic ways. And Kevin Samuels is saying, hell no. Why we need to do all that shit? Y'all
That shit
confused as
over.
fuck. Be confused where y'all at, but we don't need to fall into y'all confusion. We don't need to fall into y'all eggshell ways. Get it together. Figure it out. What the fuck you want to do? Yes is motherfucking yes, and no's motherfucking no. I didn't know that there was blurred lines between yes and no.
That shit over with.
Yeah.
Because the men who the women want, it's like they're in a catch-22. They're gonna have to start being submissive. The men who they want are the men who not gonna apologize for shit that they ain't do.
And tell them this is what the fuck is gonna be. And dictate the fucking terms. That's who they turned on to. The motherfucking men that are actually being what the fuck they are. Men.
I had a chick. I love man. I still love this girl. I love her to death. And I remember when they hit her, she was having an argument. I don't argue. I let her say whatever the fuck she wanted to say. And when she done and she goes too far, I'll be like, I'm about to leave. You know what I mean? Put my shit in drive and get the fuck up out of there. Because you argue with a woman long enough, somebody gonna put hands on somebody.
Yep.
And then you gonna go to jail. And I ain't going to jail. Man, I got a career. I can't go to nobody's jail. I got shit going on.
Yep.
I can't go to nobody's jail for arguing no broad all night. So I don't be arguing with business, right? So it hit her, and she said, "So you mean to tell me that I gotta do what you say, when you say do it, how you said do it?" I said, "Yeah." They said, "I don't think that's fair," and I was like, "Man, life ain't fair, man.
Exactly.
Shit ain't fair." Because the way I thought about it, I'm not asking you to do much.
Yep.
I ain't asking you to rob no fucking bank.
Nope.
I'm just asking. I just want you to be a woman.
That's it.
The shit that you do, you just mad because once they find out they'll do it. No strings attached. They'll just be doing it. Once they find out it's a requirement from you, and if they didn't do it, it'll be a problem. They want to they rebellious.
That's when they want to challenge.
Mind you, they're doing it. No matter every woman I ever do it, they cook. I don't ask women to cook for me.
Yep.
I don't ask them to do nothing for me like that. They do it automatically.
Yep.
Once they see that I'm a manly man and that's how I move, now here come I shouldn't have to cook for you all the time, blase, blase. Yep. Bitch, I never asked you to cook for me.
Exactly.
Problem is, you found out just how I move, and I wouldn't deal with you if you didn't do it. Now you want to buck the system.
Exactly. Now you want to challenge.
But bitch, Tom Brady didn't even buck the system. And he's the coldest quarterback to ever live.
Exactly.
For our stats concerned, as far as accomplishments, he ain't even buck the system. He played by the system.
Exactly.
So you don't have to play by the system, man.
There
you know what I'm saying? So So she had tears and she was like, "You what you mean tell me I gotta do this, blah blah blah." Okay, I'll shut the fuck up. Blah blah blah. When she realized then it was like she had to fight her inner self.
Yep.
Just how fucked up, and this reason why I don't take it personally when women do what they do.
Yep.
This system has groomed them to be the way they're gonna be.
Yep.
So they gotta fight against what they've been told all their life just to be submissive to you. It's not supposed to be easy, it's hard.
Yep. But when they deal with you, they deal with
they
that rude
have,
awakening.
They probably have mothers who didn't acquiesce in that. They probably had grandmothers who said niggas wasn't shit, go to school, get your own money because you can't trust a black man.
They could have had all of that. They could have had a mother and grandmother that did all the acquiescing. But you know what? The shit could have got bad when they went to college and they started listening to these other girls, you know, that didn't be like that. Because you know, a lot of these women be influencing a lot of these motherfuckers too.
And this how you know. This how you know the average black the man's mindset is stronger than a woman's.
Yep.
Because when I talk about being influenced, I remember my first neighborhood I grew up in was a mixed neighborhood. You had blacks, you had Mexicans, you had everybody, right?
Mm-hmm.
So naturally you had white friends. I remember I used to have to tell my white friend, like, bro, you jumping your mama's furniture and shit? He's like, yeah, no, I can do what I want. Then you're like, come on, man, jump. I was like, nah, I ain't gonna do that. I'll be sitting down and shit, watching him jump around. Then he come to my crib and shit. I said, man, that shit you be doing at your mama's house, you can't do it here.
Nah.
He like, no, man, I could do it. I said, no, the fuck you can't. I said, man, my mama will whoop you. Exactly. I said, my mama will whoop you, man. Yep. He said, she can't do that. I said, man, she can do whatever the fuck she want to do here. When I was little, I used to curse like a sailor.
Yep.
You know what I mean? I was like, man, my mama can do whatever the fuck she want to do here, man. Exactly. She do everything she want. Can't nobody stop her. That's what I'm telling you. If you jump around, you gonna get whooped, man. That nigga started jumping around, that nigga got whooped, man. That nigga like, man, your mother, she's mean. I said, no, man, you hard-headed. You hard-headed. I don't know what you do around this motherfucker. I said, you hard-headed, man. I was like, I asked him a simple question. I said, when I go to your house, did I jump? He said, nah, you didn't. I told you could. I said, you're not listening. Did I jump? He said, no. I said, why? He said, because you know better. I was like, yeah. I said, now you know better, motherfucker. You know what I'm saying?
You said, sometimes people got to run through that brick wall, man.
You got to run through the brick wall. So there's a lot of women, they might have been celebrating last night and the day before.
Yep.
But this how God work, man. The shit you take for granted, he put you in a predicament to where you need it.
Exactly.
They're going to run into some situations where they're going to be like, you know what? Damn, Kevin Samuels was right.
Yep. Or situations where they used to be with motherfuckers that was at a level. And because that's the thing with women, they take the shit for granted. Now what God do, he going to put you in positions where you're going to start dealing with motherfuckers that's not on the level. And you're going to learn your lessons through those situations. Like, damn, shit, I didn't know what the fuck I had with that situation. You're going to learn.
A lot of women I deal with, they're too proud to tell me. But I hear through the grapevine because they tell other people. And they tell me like, yo, such said,
yep.
If she can have another shot.
I always hear the shit through the grapevine.
She can have another shot at you. She will take you. She won't take you for granted this time because she was like she she hasn't met anybody like you since.
Yep.
And that when you on your principle, when you stand for what you believe in, you take care of your girl. When I want a woman, and I care about her. They don't. What they want is what they want, and we can work on that. But what they need, they never go without.
Yep.
When you do all that shit, man, you always gonna be on another level because either most niggas won't do it or they can't do it.
Yeah, they can't. Exactly.
Or they can't do it. They can't afford to do it. You know what I'm saying? So you always gonna be on another level, whether the bitch admit it or not.
Yep. And if they don't, God has a funny way. God has a funny way of teaching them that. And at that point, you don't really care because you've already moved on with your life. And the thing is, there's always going to be witnesses that's going to come back and tell you. That's how this shit is. It rolls with it rolls, but you move on with your life because you've served your purpose in that moment. However, whatever that season for the reason was, you served your
You
purpose
serve that
and you
purpose.
moved the fuck on.
Me and you, we the same when it comes to that.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't believe once you deal with somebody, that's the end. It don't
Yeah.
necessarily got to be the end, but most times it is the end.
Yep.
Most times it is the end. It don't necessarily got to be the end, but most times it is the end. And what I realize is, I no longer hold grudges against people who didn't appreciate me.
Exactly.
Because sometimes you're a lesson to people, like how they should treat somebody else. And they were supposed to take you for granted, so they
Yep.
could go through what they're going through to make them smarter and stronger.
Yep.
So I won't even be like, man, that bitch didn't take it. She ain't take it back. She ain't appreciate me. Blase, blase. I'm finna do this to all these bitches because I feel like this. Like, no, because I realized that's a isolated incident.
Yep.
And it was supposed to be that way.
Yep. I'm
That's
gonna tell
how.
y'all
That's how.
something right now. Ross could attest to this. Island brothers in Haiti don't deal with shit nowhere near half of what these beta males in America deal with, man. The women know, they acquiesce to these Haitian men. They know they gotta cook. They know who the man is in the house. They don't play, man. Ain't got time to be playing with.
Mhm.
And if they don't know, that guy's gonna go out there. He's gonna start sleeping around with motherfuckers. Teach her ass a lesson. And he don't care if she know that he's doing it. He's gonna let her ass fucking know. Listen, there's one chef. There's one chief, man. They
Right.
if you don't know the Haitian culture, you're gonna have to learn that shit. That shit is very prevalent, especially in
Whenever,
Haiti.
whenever you have a masculine dominant culture, you'll always have women on the low trying to learn how to do some type of voodoo or some type of shit, undermining shit, because
Yep,
they're always fighting against that, and they're always trying to get the upper hand, and they
yep,
never do.
yep. Every woman I've been with has cooked for me. Every woman I've been with has taken care of me, washed my clothes, you know, just done shit. All of them may have acquiesced completely, or may have, you know, said something or gripe about it, but they've done it. And then they'll turn around and say, "Man, I normally don't." And even if they the ones that say, "I normally don't do it for others," but you, it's something about you. I just do it for you because I give them that masculine energy.
And when they say that shit, I know they telling the truth, because most women, they've been raised to that's beneath them.
Yep,
So I know they telling the truth when they say, "Man, I normally don't do this." I know you telling the truth. Yeah, I know.
yep, yep.
Yeah, I know. But that just goes. But sad thing about it is when they're not raised to be feminine,
Hmm.
they're really going through conflict and turmoil when they're doing all that shit. They don't know why they're doing it.
Exactly,
It's because you're so masculine.
exactly.
That's the problem. Once we get men to be comfortable being masculine, because thing is, if men aren't comfortable being masculine, it's going to produce masculine women. Because
Yeah,
somebody got to be the leader,
yeah. And
nigga.
this is what I tell them. This is what I tell them, bro. When a woman say you cook, I say I don't cook. I don't know what that is. Every woman I've been with cook for me. So
Yeah.
you're gonna be with me. That's a requirement. You got to
I'll be
cook.
like, why? I'll be like, why you asking me something strange like that? They be like, strange. I was like, yo, I was like, why I need to cook?
Exactly. I don't
Because
do
you
that.
should. I was like, I got money.
Yeah.
I was like, I don't need to cook if I don't want
Hmm.
to.
Hmm.
And like, well, what do you eat? I gotta eat home cooked meals a lot. Well, who cook for you?
Yeah.
And I got friends. I got people who care about me.
Yeah.
I make sure I put the keyword care about me. And
Exactly.
if you care about me, why the fuck if you care if I cook or not? You should be
Yeah.
happy to cook for me.
Exactly.
If I care about you, why would I care if I'm paying the rent? I was paying the rent before you got to this motherfucker.
Hmm.
I'm gonna stop paying it because you live here. Like, no, come into this bitch. You know what you gotta do.
Exactly.
You ain't gotta worry about no rent. And I should have
Yep.
to worry about cooking the motherfucking thing if I'm paying the rent around this motherfucker.
Yep.
The problem is white women don't cook. That's the problem.
Hmm.
Majority of white women don't cook. And black
Yep.
women don't care what they say. Black women, a lot of black women want to be white women.
Yep.
They want to feel everything that they feel they want to have, not knowing some shit is not supposed to be.
So basically,
No
they
man.
want to be the opposite of who they are. They want to cut against their own grain. That's what you're saying, basically.
Whatever a woman is, most times they want to be. They don't want to be that.
Exactly.
No matter what it is, they'll cut their hair
Mhm.
short. As soon as they cut their hair short, they'll be like, "Man, I miss my hair." Immediately, they don't want to be
Immediately. Yep.
wherever the fuck they got going on. They don't want it. As soon as they dread that shit up,
And
they start
let
talking about,
don't let
man.
that shit be dreads, Ross, that they've been growing for years. Woo, they gonna be mad as fuck.
Like, I miss my afro. Like,
Mm-hmm.
bitch, you dreaded your hair up. That afro over with.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
They always fight against when you don't have principle, you're gonna always fight against yourself.
Exactly.
Even women need a principle. This is the reason why when you see the sisters that actually out in the byways and the highways with the Hebrew brothers, they got
Mm-hmm.
a different energy on them because the
Mm-hmm.
Bible is their principle.
Exactly.
When a woman has a principle, it's a peace about them.
Yep.
You feel peaceful around them. Not a
Mm-hmm.
sexual energy with them. They could be married to somebody else, but they could get you to open up and talk to them because you could
Yep.
trust them. There's a
Yep.
principle about them. You know they're not judging you. You know it's nothing sexual. They don't want you. They just want to hear your story. They care
Yep.
about you as a
Yep.
brother. That's a different energy when a woman got a principle. When she ain't got
Yep.
no principle, she like a fucking leaf. She go every fucking where.
And I'm gonna tell y'all a secret.
And I don't
If
want no
black
kid with
women,
no
if
woman
black
who
women
go
was
every fucking where.
acquiescent, okay, not my bad, Ross. Go ahead and finish your point.
And I don't want no kid or I don't want no children around. And I don't want to be around no woman who's here and there mentally
Yep.
and emotionally. No,
Yep.
you're not going to raise my kids to be fucked up. Get
Yep.
you some principle about yourself.
Yep.
My bad. Go ahead, bro.
No, you good. You good because you was making a point. You was in the point first, so that's my bad. You know, the thing with black women, if black women operated, bruh, in their natural state, you wouldn't have found too many black men going out there outside of the race and fucking with other people. That's what they don't realize. They keep wondering why this, what caused this, what started this. It's
You want
because
some
y'all
men?
motherfuckers be revolting too fucking much and cutting against the fucking grain. If y'all operated in y'all natural sense, why would these black men want to go against what a black woman represents physically? Like who is built like the black woman physically? Like who is endued like the black woman in a lot of physical ways that a black man wants? No one. So
No
he
one.
wouldn't leave. He's only leaving because your ass is being rebellious like a motherfucker. And we know rebellion is the beginning of witchcraft.
It's the beginning. Because think about it. You got a man that's masculine.
Yep.
Your rebellion is what's make you get up with this bitch and talk about, okay, what spell I need to get him to start doing what I want. Your
Yep.
rebellion against his dominance.
Yep.
That mindset gotta go because it's toxic.
Yep.
And when you look at the woman who and there's men too, because voodoo and all that shit, it ain't just women, it's men
Yep.
too. But they always have a feminine context towards them.
Yep.
It's highly feminine men who get into the voodoo shit too.
Mm-hmm.
But when you look at their lives, it's hard lives. They look old. They look
Yep.
beat down. That's their
Yep.
punishment, man. They don't
Yep.
have no peace. Because
Yep.
once you give into that shit, it do work.
Yep.
Once you give into the power of that's more. Whatever you think is more powerful than God, God will give you over to it.
Yep. And you dealing with all this spirituality and spirits and all of that, man.
If you
That
think
should
that's
take
more
over you,
powerful,
man.
if you think that's more powerful than God, yeah, you're gonna see shit getting slapped around in your house and
Yep.
TVs turned off by themselves. Yeah, because
Yep.
you submitted to that. I'll
Yep.
submit to that. And
Nope.
I know for a fact I had two women who tried to put spells on me.
Mm-hmm.
And I rejected that shit. I was like, man, something fucking ain't right, bro. What the fuck going on?
Yep. I
And
had
then
that
I was
shit too,
like,
man.
and once I come out that shit, it's like God put a you know how they say a spirit fell in the Bible, say a spirit of such fell on. God put a
Yep.
spirit on me to where I reject everything about the woman.
Exactly.
I don't want to eat nothing from her. If she says something out the way, I'm
Yep.
like, you know what? I don't need this. Boom. And it's
Yep.
like I totally reject them. They go crazy.
Yep. And then you get to that place where you just you start like it's like a gradual cold turkey. You weaning yourself off that motherfucker.
That's
Everything
why
about that motherfucker just don't balance with your spirit.
that's why the scripture said there's no enchantment against Jacob.
Mm-hmm.
Us, when you know the power of God, all that shit they be doing on other niggas and shit,
Yep.
it don't work. It don't work to the effect on you. You'll bounce back out of that shit.
Yep.
Like people don't realize, like in the story of in the story of Samson, people
Mm-hmm.
like, oh, they just cut his hair. That's how he got weak. And one is that they just cut his hair. Some of the spells they use, they need some of your DNA. They cut your hair.
Exactly.
They worked roots on him, made him weak,
Mm-hmm.
but because he was a Hebrew, he couldn't stay that way.
Yep.
Then they get back in strength.
Yep.
Next thing you know, that nigga served judgment on them niggas. You know what I'm
That's
saying?
it. He
He
tore
got back
everything
his
down.
strength.
He went down with it, but he tore every motherfucking thing down.
He got back his
Every motherfucker
strength
went
because
down.
we always gonna get back our strength. There's no
Yep.
enchantment that's
Yep.
gonna keep us down. You know what
Yep.
I'm saying?
Yep.
And if he never gave his strength over to that woman, he would have never even felt that what he
He wouldn't
felt.
have felt that. It would have been him doing it to them, and he would have went on and did it somewhere else,
He
like he was doing
acquiesced to it.
before.
He acquiesced to it. He never thought that. Why the fuck do she? We got to understand one thing. Back then, we didn't intermingle with those people like that, so we didn't know. He
Yep.
didn't know. Oh, this bitch want my hair because she wanted to do a work roots on me and make me weak.
Exactly.
He didn't know
Yep.
that shit. He was like,
Yep.
yo, that's a weird
And you
request.
know
This
what's the
bitch said
funny?
she-
And you know what's the funny thing about it? You know, he was being warned. You know what I'm saying? God was warning him about it.
Yeah,
And
his mother said she was like, why you don't just take one of the women of your own
I
people?
was just
Why
about to
you
say,
going
you
over there
got
to
you
these
got it.
people,
There
these
you go.
strange people?
Because one
And
thing
he
you
went
could
over there.
tell
He took his ass over
when a
there
mother
anyway.
truly loves her son and a mother's not on some masculine energy shit, she will warn that son
Yeah.
about the other women.
Like, man, don't go over there. He went over there.
Yep.
Man, I'm Samson, man. Man, I'm finna go over there and get some of that African pussy.
That's it. Samson was like, I could do whatever the fuck I want to do.
He went over there. He went over there and got some roots put on his goddamn
His
ass.
ass.
He started telling her the secrets to the jokes and shit. Cause
Yep.
he's over there finessing them out the bread. And
Yep.
he's getting all types of shit out those niggas. He'd give them a joke, a riddle. They couldn't figure
Mhm.
out. He'd take all their bread. Like, man, I'm taking all this.
Yep.
They,
And see,
but
that goes to that principle with
who
great
they
power
used to
comes great
conspire against? My fault.
responsibility.
Say that
Now it
again.
goes to that principle with great power comes great responsibility.
Right.
So if
And
you're
who
in a
do they?
position of being a judge is not a light position to have. That's a position where you're basically imposing judgment upon people. So
Right.
you gotta be on point.
All right. Here's something I want to address to the chat and people who watch our lives
Mm-hmm.
as respectfully as possible. If the lives have a title,
Yep.
they have a theme, they have a goal.
Yep.
If we're talking about one thing and it's something you don't want to talk about, just leave.
Yep.
But don't expect us to change the topic because you want to talk about basketball, you want to talk about boxing. The live is the live.
Mm-hmm.
It's disrespectful to see us holding a live and then to throw out questions that ain't got nothing to do with the live, man.
Facts.
Like, respect the platform.
Yep.
If you listen long enough, you'll learn something. Like, what in your mind got you thinking about basketball and boxing and shit right now? We talk about real shit. That's just a sport. That shit don't really
Yep.
mean anything at the end of the day.
That shit don't mean
We're
nothing
men.
in the molecules of life. It means
Right. We're
nothing.
men. So we cover like people competing because we're men.
Mm-hmm.
But at the end of the day, when the TV go off, we know that shit didn't mean nothing really.
Yep.
Niggas still gotta go to work and shit. Niggas motherfuckers still they gotta do some shit they probably don't feel like doing. They
And you
gotta
got
do
to
it.
deal with
That
these
shit don't
broads,
change
and you got to
nothing.
deal with life. Like what we
Yeah.
teaching you right now is way more important than that bullshit.
You know what I mean? You know what I mean? If y'all donate right, we might go back to doing boxing lives. We might we might go back to doing basketball lives. If y'all donate right.
Yep.
You know what I mean? But right now, this ain't a boxing or a basketball live. This is about
Exactly.
Kevin Samuels, his legacy, the shit that we know because we got fathers in our lives. A lot of shit Kevin Samuels was saying we had already heard.
Yep.
That's
Me
why
and Ross are OGs because we already experienced all the shit that Kevin Samuels was teaching y'all. Y'all in this new evolution, in this new period, y'all have YouTube and y'all have social media and y'all have the computer screens and y'all have these smartphones to teach y'all this. But me and Ross, we talked about this shit offline. We always had, an elder statesman here and there. It wasn't an everyday thing. They would just sit you down or they'll shoot you in your ear real quick about a particular situation or particular thing that they wanted you to know. Me and him was so advanced and we are so adept in the way that we move and think. That's all we needed. Just a quick shoo. We didn't need no long, drawn out. We just need a little pick me up or a little something that we didn't fucking know in that moment. And then boom. Now we took it and decided how we wanted to maneuver it and add it into our life and add it into our umbrella. But y'all have all of these things. And shame on you if you're not taking advantage. So Ross is right. if we're talking about life and we're talking about a bigger picture topic here that has to deal with day-to-day affairs that you're going through, let's say right now you being beta male whooped, this is a perfect opportunity for you to learn something from us so that you can get up under that damn rebellion, that damn
Mm-hmm.
witchcraft, that damn Jezebel, and learn something. Or if you're in a situation where you can now turn around and become the man and overpower the situation and be back to the originality of what you are from a masculinity standpoint, you're learning it from us because we're exuding that. You take on the spirit that's speaking to you. That's why it's always key. And that's why me and Ross are always making sure we're at our best when we talk to you guys. Notice when Ross is not at his best, he takes time away from content creation. When I'm not at my best, I take away time from content creation. That's very important to do that too. Because if you're not right, how can you deliver a right message to the people? So you
Right.
got to always make sure you're in your right state when you're delivering because people could take on that spirit as well too. Very important.
Exactly, bro. Um, as a man, if I could give any advice, if you're dealing with a woman, deal with a woman who do things that add to your life, that please you, that are beneficial, just because that's just how she is. Not even because it's just you. She just that type of person to where she's giving, she's loving, she's bubbly. If you want a woman that you gotta convince them that you need more nurturing, you need more love, you need to feel her touch. You gotta convince her that that she should want you sexually, right? Not granted, people are human; they don't want to have sex every day, but she should be sexually attracted to you. She should
Yep.
want to cook for you. She should want to see you happy. If you gotta convince her that to make you happy, then you gotta find somebody else, man.
You with the wrong motherfucker.
At that point, you know what I mean? Like at that point, you might as well be alone.
Yep.
And it's okay to be alone. It's better to be alone than be with the wrong person.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Because that's a responsibility. As soon as you take a woman into your life, you're responsible for this woman now, man.
Yep.
You can't be responsible for somebody who don't even give a fuck about you, don't even care about themselves.
Yep. And why would
How
you
can
want to
you
be
do that?
responsible for a motherfucker that's sitting there not acquiescing and satisfying your needs and doing what's supposed to be natural to fucking do? Shit don't make no sense, man.
You gotta separate how you feel about your mother from how you feel about women.
Exactly.
Because how you felt about your mother, you was a child. And you as a man, you should not feel about your mother the same way you felt about her when you was a kid. She
Exactly.
was your everything. You ain't know nothing else.
Yep.
As you become a man, you're supposed to put away childish things.
Exactly.
You still love your mother, but she got to respect you as a man now.
Yeah. Because even when your mom get out of line, you gotta check her ass.
Yeah, like yo, like this, I love you to death, but I had to check. My mother never disrespect me about women I dated, but who did I had to check? That a female who I respected. I think I had to check my auntie and my wife because it was at odds with each other. I think I had to check both of them because I wasn't gonna choose. Like I love y'all to death, but man, whatever little shit y'all got going on, don't involve me in it.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
I don't get in a woman squabbles.
Yep.
I don't get in that shit, man. I'm a man. I got important things to do, man. And I'm not finna get in y'all gossip and try to figure out who right and who wrong. I don't
Mm-hmm.
give a fuck about who right and who wrong. Be honest. You know
Figure
what
the
I'm
shit
saying?
out.
I don't give a fuck about that shit at all. That shit got nothing to
Mm-hmm.
do with me.
And if y'all got issues, y'all gonna have issues. But at the end of the day, when y'all around me, everybody gotta respect each other.
Yeah, but that's the big issue. The big issue is the men can't separate how they feel about their mother from how they feel about regular women, and they can't separate how
Mm-hmm.
they used to feel, how they felt about their mother as a child from how they
Mm-hmm.
should feel about their mother now.
Yep.
As an adult, you're supposed to love your mother to death and know she's capable of making mistakes and she's not always right, and that's okay.
Mm-hmm. And even your mom can be capable of trying to finesse you, boy, and gaslight you and shit like that. You gotta
Yeah,
pay attention to that shit as an adult too. Just because they want something from you, and you gotta be able to tell them, okay, is it because you want this? I understand if you want to just come out and say it, but don't try to do
Right.
this thing where you try to make it seem like you guilt tripping me. And I have to do this with my mom, and I don't hold back.
If you try to guilt trip me to anything, I won't do it.
Yeah.
I don't do that, man. I don't play that guilt trip shit. I'll be like, you know
Hmm.
what? I'll be like, yeah, maybe you're right. Yeah, I don't think you ain't being a good nephew. I'll be like, yeah, maybe you're right. And
Yep.
then don't even do the shit you asked me to do. Cause come
Yep.
on, man. How the fuck? Come on, man. You ain't gonna do that to me, man.
they love to do that shit, man.
You ain't gonna do that shit to me, man.
Because
I
at the
can't
end of
allow
the
you to do
day,
that shit to me.
even though they're your mom, they're your auntie and all that, they still women.
They
That's
still
what
women.
motherfuckers need to understand. They still women, and women are always looking to see if they could fuck with you, man. I mean, it is what it is. And if you give them an inch for them to fuck with you, they gonna fuck with you. Even if you they son, even if you they nephew, they gonna try to fuck with you. And you got to draw the
Yep.
line in the, and you respect them differently than any other broad or anybody else. That's just whatever on the streets or whatever. Because that's your mom and your aunt and all that. But you still got to check them. I give them what's called a gentleman's quarterly version of a check, but they get the
Mm-hmm.
check nevertheless.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. You know what I'm saying?
Ross,
So,
man, anything else you want to say, bro? That's why I always know we on the same wavelength, though. I was thinking the same thing.
nah,
Anything else you want to say before we close, bro?
I pretty much said it all. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
I said all I got to say. About to get ready for this outing. Um, thank everybody that showed up. Thank everybody that donated. At the end of the day, all I ask is if you know this not a sports live, don't bring up sports. Respect the platform. You know what I mean? That's it.
Listen, man. Hopefully, folks learn something from this engaging conversation that we had because we dropped a lot of gems and a lot of jewels. At the same time, we gave Kevin Samuels his flowers. We didn't only give Kevin Samuels his flowers when he passed away, we gave it to him while he was alive. And that's a very important thing. People are not doing that. People and you got a lot of people that's doing that now. They want to give this man his flowers after he's dead, but they were non-existent. They were never talking about him while he was alive. You go back and look at the history and the catalog of our lives and what we talked about. We've mentioned this guy in some form, some facet, some variation where we gave him his flowers. So we're well within our rights to talk about him and to salute his legacy. So we hope the man's legacy had an impact on you guys, and we were able to continue to be agents of continuing on his legacy, but also showcasing to you guys what we are in our own individual, what we are about on our own individual platforms and what we stand for. Because at the end of the day, Kevin Samuels or not, men that are real men just don't tolerate bullshit. That's just the way it rolls. So anyone else that wants to donate to motivate, we appreciate y'all, man. Those who have donated already, thank you for donating to the platform. Thank you for donating to this live. We appreciate everyone that showed up and showed out, everyone that contributed. Any last donations, make sure y'all go ahead and donate to motivate. Even after this live is done, if y'all send it through my Cash App, you send it to Ross's Venmo, we appreciate anything because at the end of the day, we're giving you guys hellified information, and we're giving you guys information to equip and build you up as individuals. That's what we're here for more than anything else. Everything else is bullshit. If we're not serving our mission and making you guys stronger and making you guys better and more equipped and more powerful men, then we're not doing our jobs. And I don't know no one who has left alive that has not felt stronger and better and more reassured and reaffirmed in what we've told them through the mission. Whether you told Ross this individually, you told me this individually, or you told it to us collectively. Either way, somebody has been touched and somebody's gotten delivered and somebody's better off. Y'all be easy. Y'all enjoy the rest of y'all Saturday. It was real. Peace.
Peace.